Go live, go live. We are live. It is Mishaguyas Monday Live. And who am I? For those of you who don't know, I am Rofe Mishaguyas. I am a life coach, entertainer, creator of eclectic content, philosopher, poet, a whole bunch of things. I am not a jack of all trades, but I am a Mishaguyas of many. And I am here every week at this same time on the Facebook doing this live broadcast. Been doing this for well over a year and a half now. Haven't missed a date. Been late a couple of times for technical issues, but I've done this from the hospital and after getting home from the hospital, and I will continue to do so as long as I can. And speaking of hospitals, oh yeah, we got medical updates tonight. I saw the pain doctor earlier today, and it's going to go about the way I thought it's going to go. So I will talk about that in a minute. And then my usual from the heart, encouraging, thought-provoking talk that I give, very different from last week's episode, which was different from the normal. But for tonight, this is what I do. Most of the time, I don't have any idea what I'm going to talk about when I press go live. Sometimes I have an idea of the subject, the topic, but everything that I say and do on these live streams is from the heart and unscripted, as it is today. And sometimes I don't know what I'm saying until it actually comes out. So, and also a quick reminder, in the Facebook app, I don't know why, but it doesn't show me how many people are watching anymore, and it doesn't show me your comments. But please do feel free to leave comments, as I will see them when I'm done, and will respond. And also, one more note before I get started here, or further on in being started. This is the first Monday Live of the month, and for a while I was doing an Ask Me Anything on the first Mondays, which would get some small audiences. Sometimes it would just be one or two people, and we'd have some interaction, and they'd ask questions, whatever it was. And then that kind of stopped. People stopped showing up for those, and of course, if I can't see the comments, it's hard to do a live stream reacting to comments when I can't see the comments. So those have been put on hold indefinitely for now. However, if and when I get enough questions that will take more than a sentence or two to respond to, I will do another Mishaguyas Monday Live, Ask Me Anything, where I will respond to those questions that have already been asked. So no Ask Me Anythings today, but you can feel free to put those in the comments if you want, and I'll either respond in the comments or I will respond in a later video. So as I said earlier, I did go see the pain doctor today that I was recommended to by my neurologist some time back, and the neurologist, or the pain doctor, looked at the MRIs and CAT scans that have been done of my neck and upper back from 2021 until most recently in September of this year, and can see that the discs in my neck have narrowed a whole lot. In fact, the main one that seems to be contributing to my problem is bone on bone almost, which is pretty bad. And so there's not a lot of not a lot of room for the nerves to get out, which is one of the reasons why I'm having the pain that I am and the difficulties that I am. And so they're going to be referring me to surgeons who can do disc replacements. I also have some bone spurs inside, next to the spinal column on the inside of my spine, which is not good for the nerves and everything else in there. So they'll probably, hopefully, remove some of those at the same time. So looking at surgery again on the horizon. I've had so many surgeries in the last few years. This year alone, I had 2. One of them was actually combined. So if you separated them out, it would be 3. I had, beginning of the year, I had tubes put in my ears, which have fallen out. And then they did sinus surgery at the same time. And then a little while later, I ended up having my appendix removed. So it's been quite the surgical last couple of years. But it is life as we know it and as we go forth. And we're looking at a new year coming up, new things coming up. We're in November. I hear about No Nut November, and I'm hoping that I am the only nut, especially if you are allergic to nuts. I'm the only nut that you hang out with during No Nut November, because I am the best kind of nut to hang around with. But that's, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong in that. Let me know in the comments. Am I the good kind of nut, or am I a bad nut? But yeah, definitely if you have an allergy to nuts, I'm one of the safe ones to be around. So but we are in November now. The year has gone by so fast, and so much has happened. November is, in a lot of places in the world, it's a month where we celebrate the harvest. A lot of countries have Thanksgiving during November, including the divided states of America, where I live. And being grateful is something that's good for us all the time. Finding things to be grateful for to be thankful for, even in those dark times. And not just because the time changed and the sun goes down earlier or anything like that, but dark because things are difficult, and we're definitely not in dark times now, are we? But during dark times, and even during regular times, it's important to find things to be thankful for and to be grateful for. Anything, even in the bad, in the crazy times. I've used this analogy before. Your car breaks down. Finding ways to see that as a good thing, which I know has the immediate response of, oh, that's terrible. But if you think about it, there can be good things about having a car broken down, especially if you're not making payments on it. And if it's not too terribly expensive. But yeah, I've got a car that's been sitting in the driveway now for 4 years. Wow. 4 years. Yeah, I think that's right. Anyway, 2020, yeah, 4 years. It'll be November 5th, just a couple of days away. My spouse and I will have been in the place that we live now for 4 years. That's crazy to think about. And all that has happened during those 4 years. But yeah, it broke down right after I got it here. Have been spending many years putting money into it to keep it going, and it served its purpose, but I can't find parts for it anymore. And so I'm going to have to have it towed off and written off before too long. It's a foreign-made vehicle from 92 Mazda van, and you just can't, even the one place that I used to be able to find parts when nobody else could, no longer has the parts that I need for it. So But, when it broke down, it was like, oh, good. Now I don't have to pay, insurance. Yay, we can cancel that, save some money. I don't have to pay for gas. There's no wear and tear to have to pay for now. It can just sit there. So there are different ways to look at things where you can find good about them. And in my life, I've been through so many insane and difficult things, so many dark places, that the only way that I have made it is by finding anything to be grateful for. Whether it's a piece of cloth to cover up with, to try and keep warm with, or a couch to lay on, or a box to climb into to get away from the elements, a handout from somebody, being able to get a $1 burrito to have something to eat for the day. Anything can be something you can find good in, if you look at it, if you learn how to look at it in a correct way. And I think it's necessary, in fact, science shows that when we are grateful for things, little things, that gratitude has a huge impact on our mindset and our spirit, and can lift us out of dark places and depression and keep us going when there may not be anything else to hang on to. If this is something that you're struggling with, let me know in the comments. This is one of the things that I work on and work with. It's one of the things that I talk about and try to talk about a lot, but I'm also I'm digging in. I'm ready to start opening up for coaching. And I know the economy is crunching, but I'm going to open up some limited number of slots for people who are interested in either group coaching, which will be a whole lot cheaper, and for a lot of people, group coaching is a lot more beneficial. Don't worry, this is not going to be an infomercial or commercial, just some quick fill in here. Sometimes group coaching can be more beneficial than one-on-one, but I will also be offering one-on-one coaching, which will be more. But let me know in the comments below if you are interested in any of that, and find out if there's enough interest. I'll take this to the next step. So, moving on, gratitude, finding the light in the darkness in difficult places and difficult situations. And that is what I do. That's kind of the thing that I tend to like to specialize. I like to make the world a happier and brighter place and lift people up. And that's what I live for. That's what brings me joy, is seeing people grow and expand and become better humans, and be able to move, to heal from hurts, and to be able to learn to love and accept themselves again, no matter what they've been through, no matter where they've been, and then be able to move on, to take those experiences and transform them from damage to drive, to be able to move forward and make a difference in not only their life and the lives of those around them, but in the world in general, which is something that I do and have strived to do for a long time. I have one more module to finish before I get my coaching certification for Ikigai coaching, which is a Japanese purpose-finding method. to help you find your life's purpose. I know a lot of people run into a lot of icky guys, not the same thing, but yeah. And then I'll be ready to do some. I'm ready to do rolling now, even without the certification, just because it's time to make a difference in this world. We're in a dark place, and the times are rough. And I think people need hope now more than ever. How about you? Are you struggling to find hope? Find joy, find the good? Let me know. Anyway, yes, I got the cat in space shirt again today. But the things that there's so much happened for me this year that's been difficult, but at the same time, I have so much to be grateful for. I'm grateful for you who are watching this. The fact that I get to share my heart with you and be able to, via Facebook or YouTube, wherever the other videos I do, the posts I do, that I am able to touch you and help you and encourage you and lift you up and make you laugh. And I told my spouse about this time last year that I felt like 2025 was going to be my year for growth. And I just celebrated 5 years on Facebook in October 5th. November 5th or October 5th of last year, I was below 500 followers. Less than 500 with 4 years of doing this. I think the first 2 years I was hovering around 87, somewhere between 85 and 90, we'll just say, for the first 2 years. And then slowly things started growing. And just this year, I've gone from about 500 to over 1,300. That's fairly substantial, and I am immensely grateful for that, and for all the people who comment and interact and share the love and share the posts. And again, for every life I have a chance to impact in a positive way. And yeah, like I said earlier, there have been a lot of surgeries and other issues, but it's not been something that's slowed me down, per se. It's given me extra push and more opportunities to just be real and open and honest. I mean, how much more open and honest and real can you be than doing a live stream from a hospital bed, right? And there was one thing that I wanted to start at the beginning of this year that I ended up not doing, but I think for this coming year I'm going to do it, and that is to get a jar, and every day find one thing that you are grateful for, that you're thankful for, something good that happened. Write that down, put it in the jar, and then when New Year's comes around for 2027, pull those out and look at all the good things that happened. And that's even something that you could do through the year, or keeping a gratitude journal. For a while, I was doing an online gratitude journal where I would write good things that had happened. And sometimes the things that I would write that I would be grateful for would be the opposite of what was actually happening. One of my posts, I was scrolling back through and looking through some of these the other day. One of them was being thankful for quiet neighbors, courteous neighbors, neighbors who are a benefit to all those around them. And my neighbors at the time were very much the opposite. They had a bunch of pit bulls that were constantly barking and smashing holes in the fence, trying to get to our animals. They were smokers. I don't do well with smoke at all. I have a lot of issues with it, but I also have an allergic reaction, particularly to cigarette smoke, and I've had all my life. My lungs just lock up, and I can't breathe. And the neighbors would come and stand outside the swamp cooler and blow the smoke into the swamp cooler. It was very much the opposite, but I could be thankful for those things that I didn't have, because there were times where I did have them. And sometimes those dark times are times to sit there and think on the good. It's times that give us clarity. Give us clarity on the things that we want, the things that we enjoy, the things that bring us happiness. After my third divorce, my therapist at the time told me, well, sit down and make a list of what you really want, and more than that, more than what you want, what you don't want, which was an interesting twist on things. The things that you don't want in a partner, spouse, mate, whatever. And I wrote those things down. And then, if you saw last week's Mishaguyas Monday Live episode where I talked about the cult, this was during the time where I was in that area with that cult and was dealing with all of those things. And the list kind of got thrown to the side, and as part of the things that were going on, I ended up getting married to somebody that I knew I shouldn't have. It was part of to get away from what was happening, but it was less than 2 weeks after the marriage happened when I realized, oh, I really screwed up on this one. And it was about 3 months later where I found that list of the things I didn't want, and every single thing on the list of what I didn't want was what was in this person. Ah, boy. But finding the things that make us happy, sometimes when we lack them is when we can figure those things out. Like being sick all through last week. When you're sick, you really appreciate the times that you're healthy versus the times when you feel healthy and you just take it for granted. Being able to pick things up and lift them, as I have been able to do during certain times and not do during other times, is one of those things that during the times when I can do it, I take it for granted. And during the times where I can't lift and move like I would like or used to, I appreciate those times. I'm grateful for those times where I was able to. I've been grateful even for those who have come into my life and caused adversity, for those who have come in and tried to stop me from doing things that I knew I could do, because it just made me more determined. It just made me more determined to make the things happen that they said I couldn't do, I couldn't pull off. And in most cases, I pulled it off even better than anybody imagined, even better than I imagined. Gratitude is important. And in a lot of ways, it is the antidote for depression. It can be an antidote for sadness. It can be an antidote for the darkness, a light in the darkness. It all depends on the attitude that you take towards situations and toward your gratitude. We can slip into more dark places by thinking about those things we don't have, or we can think on them in ways that make us thankful. Next month will be December will be the anniversary yet again of my dad's passing, and when we've lost someone, we can either sit there and mourn and be sad about what we've lost. Not that there is anything wrong with that. Grief has a lot of different faces, and it is important to be able to cry and mourn. Even my dad died when I was 6. Even I still occasionally will cry about this and other things. So, but there can be a place where it becomes unhealthy to dwell in. And if we can get to the point where we can think back on our loved one who is gone and be thankful and grateful that we had those times with them for the impacts that they left on our lives, it can change our attitude about the situation. And yes, like I said, it's important to mourn, but it's important to also find the joy in the times that you had. And instead of you letting those memories of the good times and the good things bring you down, use those as a way to lift yourself up and push you towards better. And to bring better memories, better moods. It's part of the healing process, and it's part of dealing with the grief is also embracing the memories of the good and using them as chances to smile, to live in those moments again. And part of healing from some of the things that I've dealt with have involved that, but also some of the opposites, where you envision the person who wronged you and you tell them, you wronged me, this is what you did, and this was wrong of you, and then to envision them in your mind accepting responsibility, even if they don't actually do it ever in real life, accepting responsibility and apologizing. That can go really far towards healing. At the same time, when you're going through times of grief, envisioning that person that you're grieving being there with you and thanking them for the chance to enjoy those times and those moments can bring you back to that place of joy, and hopefully help diminish some of the loss. Something to think about. Thankfulness, gratitude. What are some things that you are grateful for? Let me know down in the comments. I'm grateful that we're getting some cooler, nicer weather. You know, just a few months ago, we were sitting here in 100-degree temperatures and saying, "Oh, it's so awful." And now here we are in the cooling temperatures, and I think we'll be having a lot of snow where I am this year. And there will be those who will be saying, "Oh no, the snow, this is awful." But we, especially where I am, we need that snow. And yes, it has its problems that come with it, but we need to look at the good things in that. Yes, it's a pain to shovel 3 feet of snow today, but it's going to give us so much water. It's going to fight the drought. It's going to water the garden. It's going to make the trees grow more. It means there will be theoretically less shortages on water. And in a few months, we'll be missing that cold and that snow, I'm sure. So flipping the mindset from the things you don't like about something to something that you do like, or maybe you do like snow over the heat. Maybe you like to go out and be cold. I know people who go both ways. Some people who really enjoy the hot temperatures, and other people who really enjoy the cold temperatures. Are you more of a hot person or a cold person? Let me know in the comments. Or are you somewhere in the middle? Let me know. And these things can change over time. I was trying to do, I lost track of what I was saying. Give me a moment here to get my mind back on track. I used to be someone who was really comfortable in the hotter temperatures. I was very comfortable at 80 degrees. Even up into the 90s, I was really comfortable. 90-degree temperatures Fahrenheit, not Celsius, but as time has gone on, I find that the higher temperatures become a bit much for me, and I don't do as well in them as I used to. And I used to really not like the cold and the snow in particular because it made things hurt, and that still is kind of the case, but I think less so for me now than it used to be. So and my body tends to anticipate the temperature changes as well, and starts being more comfortable when we're moving towards warmer temperatures. My body starts becoming more comfortable typically at warmer temperatures, and when we're moving towards the cooler, it becomes more comfortable at the cooler temperatures. That hasn't been the case so much since the heart surgery in 21, but the body is coming back into that rhythm. And that's something that I can be grateful for, but I can also be grateful for the opposite ends. When it's hot, I can be grateful knowing those cooler temperatures are coming, and when it's cold, I can be grateful knowing the warmer temperatures are coming. And during it all, I will still run around with no shoes on because I'm that kind of a person. How about you? Are you a no socks person? Are you a sandals with socks person? Are you a shoe and sock always person? Let me know in the comments. But finding the humor, finding the positive, finding the things to be grateful for in the times that we're in really does make such a difference. The things that are going around us are important, but we can't let them pull us out of our calm. There's a lot of people flying around in the storm and being caught up in it, and they want to catch us up in their storm and the storm that is going on. But what all of us need to do is catch them out of the storm and pull them into our calm. And that's what I try to do. And hopefully I'm doing that and doing a good enough job at it. But we're moving right along. We're moving right along. So before we know it, we'll be in a new year. What do you have planned for the new year? What do you want to accomplish next year? Let me know in the comments. What do you want to finish this year before next year comes? Let me know in the comments. I want to finish that last module that I've been trying to get done in the course I'm trying to finish. And officially start taking people on as coaching clients this year. That's what I want to get done here in this year. And next year I want to take off even more with the coaching and encouraging and lifting up and building people up and making the world and people's lives better, one smile at a time, one bit of encouragement at a time, one alternate view of a situation at a time. I want to be able to build people up to a point where if the entire world collapsed tomorrow, the people who I have had the most impact with and have spent time with and have built up can just say, oh, okay, we'll adjust. Hopefully that the world doesn't fall apart. But if it does, I want us to be able to just say, yeah, okay, we can go with it. We'll still be okay. That's the encouragement and the mindset that I want to be able to bring and bring people into. That's the calm that I want to be able to bring people into, to help people out, to where we can move with it, we can adjust, we can still be happy while everybody else is panicking. We can still be peaceful and be happy while everybody else is panicking. It is possible. It is possible. I know, because I've been there. I've been there, and I've come back from it. And I can tell you with full confidence, it's not as bad on the other side as it is when you're looking from where you are. Once you've gone through that storm, it's not as bad. I've heard a great saying, and I think this is probably a good place to start looking at leaving it. The best way to get through a storm is to run through it. I like that. Although, with me, if it's not too cold, I don't mind being out in a storm. You remember that story that I told last week about being out in the storm? The video of last week's Mishaguyas Monday Live is on YouTube, and I've added pictures and video footage, including a picture of that tree, that branch that fell I talked about last week. So do go check that out on YouTube as well. And just know, you've got this. You've got this. I know you do. You're not alone. You're not alone. I'm with you. Others are with you. We are getting through this. We are all together, united, strengthened, lifted up, together as one. We will stand. And I'm proud of you. You are worthy of the good things, of joy, of happiness, of feeling that you belong, that you are loved, of finding the joy and treasure in every moment of being here and of being alive. And I am very thankful that you are here and I have a chance to have you in my orbit and as part of my world. Thank you for being here, and I will see you more on the internet